The Langmuir probe is one of the most common and widely used plasma diagnostics and plasma characterization instruments to measure plasma parameters in the bulk of a plasma. The probe collects ion and electron current depending on the polarity of the potential sweep. At very low pressures, the ion current to the probe is limited by orbital motion due to the ion's angular momentum. As pressure increases, collisions in the sheath reduce the effect of orbital motion. The probe calculates the number of collisions and applies the correct theory. The Langmuir probe is supplied with a single probe interface installed unless otherwise requested. The single probe interface can easily be converted to a double probe interface. Remove all single probe parts from the probe tip end as shown. Install the double probe interface kit. Ensure that the two probe tips are secured with the two grub screws provided. After software installation, click on the Langmuir software icon on the desktop, or go to File and search Langmuir on Windows 8 or later. The Connect button should be clicked to initiate communication with the data acquisition unit once all hardware has been installed and powered up. Once communication has been established, the user is presented with a window to allow selection of the probe type being used. Here we are using a single-tipped probe. The File menu provides options for saving and loading data. The Edit menu contains the option to copy the data from the current scan so that the user can paste it directly to a spreadsheet in another program. The ALP System menu has a number of functions to control the operation of the data acquisition hardware. Click Help to open the user manual in PDF format. Hardware Info opens a dialog which displays hardware information. About opens a dialog which displays the current software the user is using. The hardware control panel contains the main functions for operating the data acquisition unit. The area at the top right-hand side of the graph displays the calculated plasma parameters. The first 9 parameters are determined from the IV characteristic. The last 3 parameters are determined from the EEDF. The error reported describes the standard deviation of the parameters for the number of scans performed. The acquisition settings provide the user with an array of functions to control the probe scan. Use this panel to input the main probe dimensions and important process conditions. When you have adjusted these settings correctly, hit Apply. The Config panel contains the various menus for configuring the data acquisition unit to acquire data. The Multi-Scan menu provides the options for spatial scanning and time trend acquisition, spatial trend, time scan, ion current scan, and more. The Voltages menu is used to configure the main probe voltage scan settings. The Cleaning menu allows the user to configure the probe cleaning parameters. Enable the Auto Cleaning option to set up the probe to perform a clean at predefined intervals. Cleaning Voltage sets the voltage to be applied to the probe tip during the cleaning process. Cleaning Level set the level of power to be supplied to the tip during the clean. For the standard probe size, it is recommended to start with a value of 1 and gradually increase until the tip glows white hot during the cleaning process. Relaxation Time Duration sets the length of time immediately after the clean has completed to wait before acquiring data. A recommended time of 10 seconds will allow the probe time to cool. Here we have input 20 seconds. The Advanced menu provides options for setting the current range along with some other miscellaneous options. Optimize current range. Enable this checkbox to allow the algorithm to select the most appropriate range for the data collection. Current range. Select the most appropriate range for data collection from the drop-down menu provided. Idle voltage. Set a negative voltage on the probe tip to help keep the probe clean when not scanning or in idle mode. Throw trace. Allows the user to delete traces from the beginning of a scan run. The trigger menu is used to start a scan using an external trigger signal. Before we begin a scan, we first clean the probe. Hit clean. You can observe feedback in the status indicator at the bottom of the screen. We then hit scan. You can see that the scan does not begin straight away because the probe is still in a relaxation period post-cleaning. Once it has expired, the scan begins. The graphical display shows the data collected by the probe and the data acquisition unit. The main window displays the IV characteristic as standard. The first and second derivative of the IV curve and electron energy distribution function can also be displayed. You can zoom in and out of the graph. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel for more videos and visit impedance.com for more information on any of our products.